Hello and welcome back to Talking Shit with a Yank and a Brit. I'm the Brit. My name is Gemma, and that is
Kate. Hi, I'm Kate.
she's
Hi.
the Yank.
I am, I think.
Are you?
I don't know anymore.
Oh. I don't know who I am.
The deep questions we ask. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing here? Why am I here?
I'm not sure of my identity any longer.
I just am the Yank. That's all I know myself as. Nothing else.
That is my whole persona and personality now. I have nothing
some
left.
some people really, I think, do lean into I'm American.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
my American flag on everything I own. American.
Mm-hmm. I find it weird that people are so obsessed with American flags.
Yeah.
You don't really see like the UK flag here. I suppose you see St George's flag.
You see the UK flag right back there. The red one is actually, that's flipped around, is actually the US flag.
You just love flags.
They were gifts.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But you went out and you purposely bought those flag cushions.
I did. You're right. You caught me.
You're like, I'm American. I'm going to get me a flag pillow.
Yep. So I can sleep my head on it every night and dream of America.
Just remind me who I am.
Like I said, that's my identity. No, just kidding, everyone. Sorry. It's not. How are you?
I'm okay. I was just telling you just then, actually, wasn't I, that I've been pruning my bush.
Yep. And your arms really hurt from it.
Yeah.
So you had quite a dense one.
It was full of thickets and knots and all
Bugs.
sorts. Bugs.
Maybe some fruit.
some lice, yeah. Some rotten fruit was in there from last season.
We're talking about literal trees, folks.
Yeah, we're not talking about my lady garden. Okay, my actual garden. Pruning my apple trees with my telescopic pruner. It was good fun.
Not something I would have ever been like, that sounds like a fucking good time, but I bet it kind of is, actually.
Yeah, it was really satisfying. I always don't look forward to doing shit in the garden, and then when I do it, I get so into it and I love it. Something about just touching that soil and the naturey shit really brings me back down to earth, and I really like it.
That's where you and I differ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like getting my fingies dirty.
I don't like green fingers.
I don't. I do like having a nice garden, and usually every year we'll kind of do a little mulching and try to make our lawn look nice and maybe plant some things. And then after we do it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything to like upkeep this or take care of it. So good luck, plants.
Just do your thing.
That's hoping. I mean, we'll see what it looks like this year, considering the very little snow we had and the weird weather that was concerningly nice this winter. I wonder if we're going to have anything green.
Yeah, we probably will.
We'll see.
I'll survive.
World ending.
True.
It's beautiful today, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's quite nice here as well.
Why are we sitting inside?
Our weathers have combined. Yeah, why are we? I've been outdoors all day, to be fair. I've only just fucking sat down, so it's fine.
I was going to say, fuck this podcast. Let's go outside.
Let's go
I'll take you outside. So you had a productive Sunday. It's still kind of early here for me, so I haven't done a great deal. I actually slept in until 6:40 today.
What?
So I know.
Are you ill?
I might be. I need to go back to bed, I think.
Or did you just not go to bed till like 3 a.m?
No, I fell asleep like a normal time. I just got up and kicked my asshole cat out. I don't know what time it was, and went back to sleep. And then when I woke up again, I was like, oh shit, I better go feed them.
But maybe that's why you wake up so early, just because the cats wake you up.
Yeah. I mean, basically, where Momo left off, Chips picked up immediately and just
Oh, really?
yeah, he does this thing where he sleeps above my pillow because he's obsessed with me, and then he likes to eat my hair,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is weird. And so I'll put my blanket over my head, and then he will just dig at it. And if I try to like give myself a little air hole, he sticks his paw in there and tries to like stick his foot in my mouth, or he licks my nose. And so there's nothing. I can't. So it's the worst.
No, that's not cool. Whenever
No.
I stay at Alan's, I have the same thing with his cat Bod. Because when I'm not there, he sleeps on my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
So when I am there, he is absolutely disgusted that I am on his pillow. And
What the
about
fuck?
halfway through, he's all right to begin with. He'll sleep at the end of the bed or he'll be on the chair in the room. And then at some point during the night, he comes onto the pillow and I just feel his little paw just doing that,
Just pushing your
just
head
pushing
over.
my face away.
Cats are dicks, man.
Yeah. He's quite polite with it until he has enough. And then he's like, fuck off! Get off my pillow!
And then what? Do you have to kick him out, or do you just get up?
Yeah, either kick him out or I just end up just sort of shuffling down the bed without a pillow.
You're
Like,
just
okay,
sleep.
Bod, you can have the pillow.
I'll
Sorry.
sleep at the end by your
Yeah,
feet. Things we do for our pets.
I know.
I mean, I hope to get out for like maybe a walk today. I gotta work. I gotta go observe some children and
Oh,
parents later. And
oh.
yeah.
Well, that's not a Sunday activity. It's the
No,
Sabbath.
yeah. Maybe I'll observe them doing Sabbath things. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's a day
We'll
of
see.
rest.
Not for Kate. Not for Kate.
Not for Kathy.
Um, actually, I have a
Joan.
question I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's probably kind of weird that I'm asking on air. You might not want to answer either, but it's just been something I've been really thinking a lot about, and I need to know.
Okay. Hit me.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting in the wind, wanting to start again?
Yeah, I do actually quite often. It's quite an existential crisis that I'm going through.
Okay, good. Like I said, I just needed to know. So now I know. Cool.
Good.
Let's move on.
Next.
Every so often that song just pops into my head. I don't know if it's because I'm like looking at a plastic bag or whatever, but
Do you ever feel
feel like a
plastic
plastic
bag?
bag.
Nah. I don't know the rest of the
That's
words.
the lyrics.
Yep, pretty sure that's right. So don't at me.
Um,
I've got a question for you.
yeah, what is it?
I saw this thing earlier on in the week. It's basically this woman who she sparked a debate because she refused to give up her first class seat to a child on a plane. And apparently it's gone
What?
mad on TikTok. I don't know. I don't have TikTok.
Mhm.
But
Well,
so
you do because we have a podcast TikTok
oh yes,
page.
I do. I just don't have access to the app at the moment. So she chose to assert her position and retain her first class seat rather than offering it to a child on the flight. So basically, apparently she went viral after sharing a video explaining that a flight attendant approached her and suggested that she relinquish her 1A seat for a child so that it could sit with their family.
It.
Yes, well, I haven't got a gender. So, um, and I just wondered what your opinion is on this. Would you relinquish your seat for a child?
Well, my first question was going to be, why does this child need a first class seat? But I guess it's because their family was also sitting in first class and they couldn't get the seat next to them for their kid. But it's also like, what were the options offered? Like, was this person, the woman, going to have to go to like economy or something? And it was, I do think I saw a little bit about this. I didn't really look too far into it, but why wouldn't the child and the parent like switch spots? Like,
Yeah,
I guess there seems to be like there's probably some other ways to go about this, and the child was going to be go sitting next to strangers. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, but then why would you also book those seats if you couldn't have your child with you?
exactly. I feel like it's arrogance a little bit. I mean, my first thought was the parents have bought first class tickets and just shoved their kid in economy
Yeah.
and then been like,
And it's
it's
like a
fine, we'll
two-year-old.
ask someone to swap. Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
I
be
think
fine
people
with
do
it.
that. I think people do that and just
Wouldn't fucking
assume
surprise
that
me.
because you hear about like people sitting in the normal, regular poor people section, and it's like, oh, can I sit next to my wife? You have the middle, and she's on the aisle, and I'm in the window. Will you switch
Mm,
with us? And it's just like, why did you book these seats then?
yeah. How about no, motherfucker?
Yeah.
She said, to clarify, the gate agent asked me, I asked to see the seat map and I didn't like the alternative. They were kind and found a solution right away. The family never addressed me. I think it was even the airline's rule, not them asking to sit together.
Ah.
So,
Hmm.
mm,
Probably because they booked a seat and then realized the kid was too young to sit by themselves.
yeah.
Like the airline's like, well, that your 2-year-old can't go sit there by himself
No.
next to that person that they don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, they should have thought that, shouldn't they? But fuck no.
Yeah.
Do you know how
No,
much
I
first
wouldn't
class
have.
tickets are? So
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm sitting where I fucking damn well booked my ticket. I paid
Yeah.
like 15 grand for this fucking seat. Fuck off.
Yeah, that was probably like, so you could go sit by the bathroom in
Yeah.
coach and we'll bring you your first class stuff and we'll give you your money back. And it's kind of like,
No.
no, thank you, though. Thank
Mm.
you.
Thank you, but no thank you. Or fuck you very much.
So was the debate people like they were horrified that she wouldn't give up her seat or?
Yeah.
Hmm.
People were like, oh, you should have given that your seat. It's a poor child sat on its own.
Except the airline figured it out. So
Yeah, so actually, it's a non issue, really, if anything.
yeah, that's dumb. People are dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading the comments, and most of the people are like, no, fucking don't give up your seat. So there doesn't seem to be much of a debate on Instagram where I saw
Yeah.
it, like the
Yeah.
30-year-old that I am, 35-year-old that I am. Um, yeah, I just thought that was interesting, that it's just the arrogance of some people.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
speaking of arrogance, I know I've mentioned a few times that I have like some hometown kind of gossip drama that's like a little benign, but kind of not that I would talk about. And so I thought I could tell you about it today. It seems like kind of relevant because we're talking about arrogant people. Um, so where I'm from, and I noticed this one of the times I went back in the last couple of years, there is a cat cafe. Do you know what a cat cafe is?
What? Yeah.
Okay. It's I noticed it. It's in an old Subway,
Oh,
right
okay.
on the same block where I used to work when I worked back in Iowa.
Hmm.
Used to go to that Subway too. It was memories. Anyway, so it's a cat cafe.
Man, they do good bread.
Yeah, well, um, and I was like, "Can I?" Oh, that's cute. I've never been in one. I've kind of always wanted to go in one because probably a surprise to a lot of people, including you. Cats are okay. I like
I
them.
like cats.
Yeah, I don't have a tattoo of a cat or anything, but uh,
Yep.
um, and so I was like, oh, I should go in there sometime, and I never did. And then this past year, some of my friends who I have a group chat with, a couple who live in our hometown still, told me about some drums that's happening.
Ooh,
Um,
spill the tea.
Sent me a link to a Facebook post of a former employee of the cat cafe.
Ooh.
This was January 4th. And it kind of starts off one of the many reasons I walked out of my former job. Coffee and Purrs is what it was called. This person, I'll just kind of summarize it. This person is a student who worked there part time. And she was saying, she quite literally sacrificed myself for the cats there. I spent hours multiple times scrubbing the walls, floors, and litter boxes to clean old crusted on cat diarrhea and poop recently. It was so bad to the point where paint came off the walls with me scrubbing so hard. Mind you, I'm barely there because I'm in school, and I was shocked to see how bad the cat room was when I came back to work after a while. After I got the place spotless that day, I sent a reminder in the work group chat to please keep up with cleaning in the cat room because they deserve a clean space to live. Agreed.
Mm.
Well, apparently this just was continually an issue. And so this person was a little bit fed up. And this blew up and went viral. People started, like, either talking about their own experiences when they went in there, um, or they were also, like, knew someone who worked there, or maybe they work there, and basically just said these cats were super neglected. The
Oh,
employees,
no.
like, they just it was a really bad place, and they felt really bad for the cats. Um, I think a lot of encouragement about contacting the Humane Society occurred in that post, and so this poster or someone else did, and I guess the cats got removed. So the drama goes on though, because the owner of the cat cafe, who was local to our hometown,
Mm.
apparently like opened the cat cafe and then just fucked off to New York, moved to New York, and
What, just
um,
left the cats?
yeah, moved to New York. I mean, so owner, like, had people who were running the place, but just
Yeah.
n wasn't even remotely close to the state anymore and just, like, tried to manage, I guess, from a distance, but was
Yeah.
not very good at it, and people tried to, like, improve, like, the processes there and couldn't because this person was apparently just a shitty boss,
Mm.
and, so people started blowing up her other business page, which was a photography page, just saying, "What about all the cats you neglected in Iowa? How's that?" And she had a post that was, like, her New Year's Day, like, "Oh, all my goals that I achieved. I opened a cat cafe, fulfilled my dream of moving to New York. I have my photography business." And they're like, "Oh, yeah? Was your goal to neglect cats?" Yeah. And so
Wow.
it just kind of steamrolled from there, just, like, all this gossip and drama about the owner and, um kind of her decision making. Someone posted, "Yikes, once again unsurprising. You pay a hefty fee to go to the cat room, and I have to say the conditions even for the customers were uncleanly. The business painted itself as a sanctuary for these animals and as a way for them to be adopted. I do not understand how this business is functioning." Um, so, like, first and foremost, glad I didn't go in there because if
Mm.
I had and seen that, that would have been really upsetting. And
Yeah.
2, just, like, I'm glad the cats are okay. Because on one hand, it's kinda like, well, don't go there and don't give it support, but then it's also like, are these cats gonna suffer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but I just think it's, like, interesting that someone could do that and then just, like, not really care, I
Yeah.
guess.
Why set it like, I understand opening a business, but you could have just opened a cafe and then fucked off to New York and
Yeah.
let someone manage it. Why open a cat cafe where there are animals that need to be fucking looked after?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. So I went to the, uh, person's page, like, the photography page, and, uh, yeah. Here's the post. "I can't believe it's actually happening. I've opened, Coffee and Purrs, and now I'm moving. My last day will be December 25th, and then I'm moving." And then the comments are like, "Oh, yeah, the secret that your other business has grossly failed. I feel bad for the poor helpless cats in your care as well as the mental health of the employees. But hey, have fun in the Big Apple."
Burn.
"We're so glad to have you out of the city. You're a disgrace to local business owners back home. I hope you're never allowed the opportunity to neglect more animals or abuse more staff in your new endeavors. Good luck scamming New Yorkers." And then someone
Wow.
posted the post to the former employee's complaint on Facebook. Just
Has
yeah.
anything happened? Has she been
I don't think it's open
prosecuted or
anymore.
like
Maybe,
animal
I had
neglect?
asked for an update, and my friends didn't really have one other than that. She's still in New York, and maybe it's closed. So,
Oh, do you know what happened to the cats? Did they get taken by a rescue centre or?
yeah, I think the Humane Society came in and took them, and probably, housed them and, put them up for adoption there.
I mean, it is a lovely idea. I'd like to go to a cat cafe, but it
Yeah.
is slightly unhygienic just to have cats walking around everywhere, shedding their fur.
So they do usually have, like, 2 they have the cafe portion, and then there's, like, a room that you
Oh,
then
okay.
can go
I just thought
into
they
that
just
is
mooched about and you could have a cuddle with a cat.
I think you can, but, like, it's not in the same area where food and, like, drinks are
Ah,
prepared, um, so that they can kinda keep it separate
yeah.
too, and then I think they also kind of, like, vet people or make them I don't know, 'cause, like, you also know weirdos. Weirdos everywhere, right?
Yeah. Also, like, I imagine in this situation when the cafe closed at, what, 6 o'clock in the evening? Everyone goes home. The cats are just left on their own every night.
Yeah, I mean, that happens if you think about it, that's probably happens at shelters too. People have to go home, right? But
That's
I
what I
assume they
hated about the
probably
rescue centre I worked in.
yeah, I assume that they probably get maybe they get kenneled in a way, and if there's a
Mhm.
separate space that they can be in, but I think, like, if I think something else I heard about that is that there was, like, water issues leaking in, like, the cat litter box room too, and it was just, like, really bad. I just found an article, though, from kinda the day after that post that says they revoked the license for it,
Ah,
the
okay.
city did because of the concerns. Um,
Good.
yeah, yeah. Sad. Oh, and then there was a picture of
Mhm.
a handwritten sign on a piece of notebook paper that says, "We are closed. Sorry for the inconvenience." Ah.
Crazy.
Oh, there's a Reddit post about it even. Nice.
Well, hope you're having fun in New York, you silly bitch. And,
Yeah.
I hope you're never allowed to open a cat cafe or own animals again.
Yeah, same.
Mm.
Just be in New York and do your photography, gal.
Yeah, live in a tiny little place because it's super expensive. Unlucky. Talking of animals, have you heard about the XL bully ban they've done here?
No.
This country really likes banning certain dog breeds,
Oh.
and they've just banned another one, and I think it's a joke.
Bullies? Like pit bulls?
Yeah, so, like, it's a certain breed of, yeah, like, pit bulls, um, like, yeah, American bully dogs is what, like, the full name is. They're beautiful dogs, they're lovely, so soppy.
Oh. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I see these dogs all the time, to be honest.
mm, but there's been a few occasions where the owners have not raised the dogs properly and not
Yeah.
trained them or specifically trained them to be fighter dogs.
Mhm.
And children have been attacked, and there was a grandma that got attacked, I think, which was like the last straw. But now, yeah, they've now been prohibited under the Dangerous Dogs Act 1991 in the UK. They're illegal to sell, breed, or give away. Um, and if you have an XL bully, you have to have them muzzled when they're out in public now,
Mm.
regardless of what their temperament is. And they tried to as well. It was so the law came in, I think, in January or in December, and then by a certain date, if all the XL bullies that were in rescue centres hadn't been homed by that point, they were all going to be euthanized.
Mm.
It was just fucking horrendous. Thankfully, loads of vets and rescue centres were like, we're not complying with this, and we will
Mm.
not be euthanizing these dogs just because they're of a certain breed. But it's just horrible. Like, they're such beautiful dogs.
The reality is, like you said, it's the owner.
Hmm.
It's never the dog. And even if a dog, for whatever reason, has maybe a propensity towards a certain behavior, it's because of how it was treated by humans.
Exactly. Yeah. No dog is born aggressive. No dog is born wanting to
Except for
hurt
maybe
people or
chihuahuas.
other dogs. Yeah, apart from those, they've got
Just
issues.
kidding. It's sad. I was gonna ask, like, so for all the people who have them, like what? But it sounds like it's not. They're not saying everyone must surrender their dogs and put them to sleep. It's like if you're gonna keep your dog, then you have to put a muzzle on it and basically make your dog feel like a criminal.
Yeah, basically. Has to be on
Hmm.
lead, has to be muzzled. Um, and they're lovely doggies. Like, the ones that aren't specifically bred to fight, which only dickheads do anyway,
Yeah.
are the soppiest, loveliest, cuddliest dogs.
Yeah.
And they were actually originally bred, especially staffies and bully breeds like that. In the Victorian times, were actually bred to look after children.
Mhm.
They were nannies to babies
Cute.
and stuff. Like you can see like these old black and white pictures of these dogs guarding children, and
Children.
they're so soft and lovely with them.
Yeah, actually, I think I might work out with one. Where I
Really?
do my strength training is dog friendly, and so on Mondays I often see a little bully that kind of looks like these dogs, and she's very sweet. She's got a lot of energy, but she's a sweet dog.
They're cute.
Yeah. Ugh, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
People need to do better for animals.
they do. Yeah, people do need to do better. It's not the fucking dog's fault. It's the human's fault.
I mean,
Um,
really, any dog could do something like
yeah.
it, like I had a boxer. He was very nice, but he was intimidating because he was kind of muscular and big.
Hmm.
And if you were on the other side of the fence, he would kind of go nuts. But as soon as you came inside the yard or
He'd
in
be
the house,
fine.
he was very friendly. But
Mm.
people acted like he was just like the most vicious dog. And I'm like, he might jump up because boxers do that, that's why they're called boxers, but he's not going to bite you. He's not going to hurt you. The only thing he was very protective around other dogs because I would go for a walk and he would want to go at other dogs.
Mm.
So that was a bit of a pain, and we tried obedience school, but I was also pretty young, and my parents didn't really like follow through with maintaining it. So again, human error, human fault, and
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
being able to like handle their dogs.
Yeah. So it's the same with Jess. She's a Rottweiler German Shepherd cross. So there's been loads of occasions where people cross the road to get away from her.
Do you remember when we were at that pub?
Oh yeah.
She's like, I grew up with blah blah blah, and I'm not impressed. And I'm like, I'm not impressed with you, lady.
I'm not impressed with your behaviour.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's it. There's been an incident with a dog in the woods out the back of the house, which she put up with for ages. And then one day she thought, fuck
Nah.
this, I'm not putting up with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she is a bit of a twat with other dogs. Sometimes. Some dogs she's absolutely fine with, some she's not. Can't tell. But I've since learned that that is my fault. I should have protected her when this
Mm-hmm.
dog kept coming up and barking in her face. I should have stood between her and the dog. I
Yeah.
didn't know that at the time. I just thought it was kind of funny and
Yeah.
was like, all right, go away, da da da.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, what I should have done was protected Jess. And I didn't so many times that she thought, okay, I'm going to protect myself. And they
I
had a
hope
bit
you
of a scrap.
apologize to her.
I have actually, yeah, because I feel really bad. Because I'm like, oh, she felt unsafe with me. So she took it into her own hands.
Yeah.
So again, human fucking error. You need to learn how to deal with those situations.
Yeah. Yep. So like most cities here have like leash laws and stuff,
Mm,
and you can like have your dog off leash at like a
dog
dog park in
parks.
certain areas. Yeah.
No offense, but
And
American dog parks look shit.
oh, you would really like one of the ones here. It's
Oh,
like along the
really?
river. It's huge. It's in the
Oh, good.
forest, like beach. It's pretty cool. When we were dog sitting last
Mm.
summer, we took Thelma there, and I've walked there before, but like she had a great time, and she this dog is a really good dog. Her only issue was with children. Like of a certain age, and so anytime we were
Yeah.
kind of walking her, and like there was a little 3-year-old who kind of toddled up to her, and I put myself kind of between them, and she kind of started to go at her, and the kid kind of toddled off,
Mm.
and I was just like, "Don't worry, I got you, Thelma."
But
But
again, that's
other than
probably down to parents not telling their kids how to deal with dogs. Like the amount of
exactly,
times kids come over and they're trying to pull dogs' tails and
hmm
pulling on their hair and their ears. And if a
hmm
child did that to you, you'd be like, fuck off. Like,
yeah,
that's all the dogs are
no,
doing. They're just like, that's not acceptable behavior. So
hmm
piss off.
Well, and we had another kid when we took her to the dog park. This was the toddler kind of. I think the parent tried to intervene and kind of did when
Mm.
he saw me kind of put myself between Thelma and the kid. Um, but when we're at the dog park, like a 9-year-old, like a taller child who I think probably doesn't bother her as much, came up and was like, "Can I pet your dog?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and you can kind of approach her and introduce her." And because I honestly wasn't sure, we had just started taking care of her, even though I'd been around her.
Yeah.
And the owners was like, she doesn't like kids and it's like kind of 5 and under, the really small ones she's kind of not a fan
Yeah.
of, and so she must have had a bad experience or something, or maybe it's because they look drunk and it's a little scary. I don't know. Because when my cousin's kid was here, when we had Thelma, we had to put her in her kennel
Oh,
because
really?
it's like she's gonna try to eat Rocco. Yeah. She was not pleased.
Oh,
But
God.
she was fine with the older kid, and for me, uh, I have forgotten sometimes, but usually it's like if the dog comes up to me and is already kinda touching me, then I will, but I'll always ask if I can pet their dog.
Yeah. And you should.
Yeah, I have manners.
Well done. You good.
Thanks, mom.
Also, what annoys me as well is now, because of Jess's, I guess we could call it racism, I have to keep her on the lead all the time. And what often happens is other people with dogs not on the lead
Yeah,
will let their
run
dog
up.
run up to her. And I'm like, please don't do that,
Yeah.
because I don't know how she's going to react. And if she does take a disliking to your dog could get hurt. But people are like, oh, it's fine. She's friendly.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah,
people
but
don't seem to.
mine isn't always. So
Mhm.
unless you've got great recall on your dog, don't fucking let it off the lead, please.
It's funny, I was actually just talking to my brother about this because he has a little dog who doesn't do great with dogs. And,
Mm.
so he anytime will scoop his dog up because he's smaller to not only keep his dog safe, but the other dog safe
Mm.
because
That's
you
also not
don't
good.
know. Well, he, it's like, so if he gets into the elevator and
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
dog
yeah.
in there,
Yeah,
it's
fair.
not necessarily like out in public, but it's just like,
Mm.
this is a confined quarter. I'm just going to pick him up. But, uh, so oh, I forgot where I was going with this. But
Sorry.
basically
I
no, it's
interrupted.
okay. He in his apartment complex, he got into the elevator with a woman who had her dog, and her dog was not on a leash. Um,
Right, yeah.
and so he got in and he picked his dog up, and when the woman got off and she goes, "Sorry, you're so leash dependent," and he said something back to her that made me laugh, but I won't repeat it because it was quite harsh. And but it's just the thing is it's like, do you want your dog to get hurt? Even if your dog doesn't need to be on a leash and is
Mm.
very well behaved, you don't know anything about my dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You can't assume that everyone's dog is friendly. But yeah, I've had people do that with, even before Jess started her dog issues. And she used to be very friendly with dogs. She loved all dogs. And what people would do, especially people with little dogs, is pick their dog up because she was a big, scary looking dog, even though at the
Right.
time she was very friendly. Um, they pick their dog up, and all that does is actually increase their like prey drive and their inquisitivity.
Mhm.
So she would then want to sniff the dog even more and want to like start jumping up, and then that
Yeah.
person would freak out and be like, "Oh my
Yep.
god, get control
Your
of
dog's
your dog!"
attacking
And
me.
yeah, I'd be like, "No, she's not. She just wants to sniff your dog's ass." Like if you'd left it on the floor, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've picked your dog up, it's made the whole situation more heightened, and also she's feeding off your nervous energy, and yeah, it's not good.
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's hard to say, because it's animals are unpredictable, and
Mm.
I think the instinct to protect a dog too, like, you wanna do that,
Oh
but I
yeah,
also like, if you have a dog, you can learn some of the best practices about how to handle these kinds of things, but
yeah.
I think the bottom line is it's just, like, respect other people's dogs. If your dog maybe has trouble with dogs and you want your dog to enjoy life and you wanna take him to the dog park, for example, then, like, maybe your dog does need to stay on a leash,
Mm.
or you just gotta be kinda careful with that, but sometimes I feel like people just are like, "Well, my dog has a right to be here too."
Mm.
Yeah, but then if there's a dog fight, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah,
are you gonna be able to intervene? Do you know what to do?
exactly. Exactly.
People need to be responsible pet owners.
Exactly. Read up on dog behavior before you get a dog. Get a trainer,
Yeah, and then follow
um,
through with it, because
and
that's
then
the
follow
thing is
through.
so
Yeah,
many people do,
consistency.
yeah,
Mm.
like obedience school and stuff, and they're like, "Well, we did it, and now we don't implement any of the things."
I did one class, so it's fine.
Yeah, my dog's perfect.
Mhm.
It's like their kids. My kid's perfect.
They don't do anything wrong.
Nope. So, I think that's another reason why I would like to get a dog, but I also am kind of like, here's how I want to live my life, and that isn't really conducive for a dog right now.
Yeah.
Um, but if I were, I would probably read all of the books and try to do all of the things.
Yeah. I
But I
watched
also
so many programs and read so many books before getting my own dog. Even though I'd had family dogs,
yeah,
I was like, this one that I want to get is going to be my responsibility, and it's going to fall on me if anything goes wrong or
yeah,
they're a twat. So
yeah.
do some learning, people.
Yep. And scene.
And scene. So are you up for a cheeky little, probably ridiculously crazy conspiracy theory?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm sure you've probably heard, but there's some shit going on with Kate Middleton,
Who?
who, for anyone who doesn't know, is Prince William's wife.
Mm-hmm.
So really, she's not even Kate Middleton anymore. She's Kate Windsor,
William.
I
Prince
guess.
William.
She's Princess Catherine of
Aren't
wherever the
they like
fuck they are.
Duchess of Duke and Duchess of Windsor or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I don't even know, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so I'll give you the lowdown, right?
Yeah, tell me.
She's not been seen since Christmas Day in public. And now, to any normal people who don't give a shit about the royal family, this isn't a big deal. You're like, and what? I don't really
Yeah.
care. But they released a statement in January, I believe, saying that she was scheduled to have abdominal surgery. I think she was seen. No, she wasn't seen going into the hospital, obviously, because she's not been seen since Christmas Day. So she wasn't seen going into the hospital. She wasn't seen leaving the hospital, which again might sound normal, but for the royal family, that is usually a great opportunity for a photo op. And bearing in
Mm-hmm.
mind, like the day after she had all three of her kids, she was outside the hospital doing the photo op, looking
Mm-hmm.
stunning as fucking
Yeah.
usual. No one's seen her go in, no one's seen her leave. They've all been very quiet about it. It's not been reported in the media, which is weird because we know how much the media love reporting shit on the royal family, like, especially fucking Meghan and Harry.
Yep.
So people have started speculating about what is going on because there have been a few weird things. So, firstly, the palace announced that William and Kate were going to be doing some international trips for the royal family in early 2004.
That's now.
That's now. However, obviously, if she's had scheduled, in quote marks,
Mm-hmm.
surgery that they said would require weeks of recovery, they wouldn't have scheduled these international trips. Bit
Mm-mm.
fishy.
Mm-hmm.
The plot thickens.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Now, neither of her parents or the children have also been seen since Christmas Day. It's like they've just vanished off the
They're all
face
dead.
of the earth. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Abducted by aliens.
Where have they gone? Why are they hiding? What do they know? An ambulance was also supposedly called to the royal family's Christmas compound. That sounds like a fucking cult.
It does.
But there was no public report that anyone was taken ill or removed by the ambulance. And if it happened, it's a secret. Now, I don't know if you know, but King Charles has got cancer.
I did know that, yeah.
He's been having cancer treatment. We don't know what the cancer is, but he's been very open about the cancer and the treatment he's having. He's talked very publicly and very openly about it. Very good of him. But again, where the fuck's Kate? Why is no one talking about Kate's abdominal surgery. Why did she need abdominal surgery? What was wrong with her? What's going on?
Liposuction.
Maybe well, she was super skinny, so there'd be nothing left of her.
She's probably getting plastic surgery and it got botched.
Also, William never visited Kate while she was in the hospital.
Fucking rude.
I know, rude. While she's been in hospital and supposedly recovering, he has done obviously things on his own. He did something for the BAFTAs and issued a statement about, I think it was his godfather who died. Issued a statement about it, but used his own personal crest rather than the one that represents them as a couple, which is a little bit weird.
Okay, they have separate crests.
Of course they do, darling. Of course they do. This is the royal family.
For okay.
But
For
usually,
publications.
now he's married, they're like a unit. So they
Yeah, I
always
guess I
use
just don't know
their
what.
family crest, I guess.
So why would he even ever need to use a single one anymore?
Exactly. So why is
Unless
he using it now? Dun, dun,
Yeah, but you know what? That
dun.
makes me think if they really were if there was a conspiracy, he would
There
have
is a
used the
conspiracy.
okay. If something happened to her that they're trying to hide, he would have continued to use the couples one.
Well, yeah,
Just
that'd make more
but he just
sense, wouldn't
basically
it?
gave a bunch of fodder for people to like
Gossip about.
yeah.
Mm. There were tabloid reports that the couple had been fighting lately.
He killed her.
Exactly, in that he was thinking of divorce. So have they divorced secretly and just not announced it? Is this why she hasn't been seen?
But they would announce it eventually, right? Like that is something
You'd
they would
think, wouldn't you?
announce. And why, I guess, why not now?
Maybe because King Charles is ill and potentially William is going to be king pretty soon. They're like, oh, you can't divorce her because you need a queen or something. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Can I read you a line I'm looking at?
Yeah.
The inescapable truth is that the unlikely event that the Cambridge marriage between William and Kate ever becomes trouble, the whole Windsor house of cards could come tumbling down. Kate has become a cherished national icon of flawless motherhood.
Oh, she is.
So, are they saying basically like they would revolt like they did Diana or what?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Sorry, go on.
Um, what's also weird is, as I said, the tabloids have been really silent about her disappearance, which would suggest that they could be under a DSMA notice, which is basically a
DS.
Defence and Security Media Advisory Notice. So that's
Mm.
something the royal family deploys if ever something terrible's happened, like when the Queen died. Nothing is in the tabloids until they give the say so, or if, for example, Prince Andrew decides that he's a paedophile and is all up in Jeffrey Epstein's grill, they they would put one of them on to try to stop the media from talking about it. Anyway,
It's nice that they have that card and they listen.
yeah, this comment said they are usually all up in the royal family's arse, but they have absolutely nothing to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish tabloids, however, are reporting that Kate is in a coma. They have a nanny who is from Spain and is thought to be the source of this tidbit. So is she in a coma? Is she dying? Is something very seriously wrong with her?
I think it's so weird that they just wouldn't be transparent about that. But I know, if anything, the royal family is all about appearances, right? Like, so when all the
Yep.
shit with Meghan and Harry was going down, and they were just like, look, we're perfect and we're going to pretend that's not happening.
We're just going to pretend that nothing's going on here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd share that with you. and see if you've got any opinions about where she is and what she's doing, because I initially didn't give a shit. And then I obviously went down a Reddit rabbit hole with it and was like, ooh, so exciting, so juicy. What's happened to Catherine?
Well, first, I will say, she's Princess of Wales, just to correct ourselves.
Sorry, Princess of
I
Wales.
think yes, there. So we got that out there. Um, I think it's weird. It's weird, and I can see why people are going down a rabbit hole of it because it's bizarre.
Mm,
Um, and the fact that, like, if she is alive and well, like, why wouldn't she just be like, "Hey, guys, I'm fine. Here I am."
yeah,
And if they are getting divorced, then the fact that they're making her not go out in public is weird. You'd think they would be to try to
where are they
maybe
keeping
negate.
her?
Yeah, but you think if they wanna negate that rumor, they would have her out being like, "Everything's fine. See, I'm still doing my Princess of Wales shit."
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, they can't do that.
Hmm. But
If
that's
she
it as
was
well. Like, if she's okay, why haven't they just, even at a window? Do you know what I mean? A little
yeah,
wave at a window.
a
They love
weekend
a
at Bernie's
balcony
where
wave.
someone's, like, waving her
Just
arm
holding her
for her.
arm like a puppet.
Uh, so that's it. That makes me think, like, it can't be a divorce cover up or a potential divorce cover up because it would be better for them to continue to have her out in the public eye and if they could. So if they can't because something's happened to her, she's in a coma, she's still in the hospital. But then it's also like she had surgery and her recovery is taking longer. Some complications occurred. I mean, they've been honest about that for other people in the past. I guess I'm having a hard time understanding why this needs to be so secret.
Mm.
Other than, like you said, maybe they need to I don't I honestly, I can't. There's
You don't
no
know?
reason I don't know.
There's also
She's
rumours
probably
that
dead.
exactly, I think she died a long time ago. No, I'm sorry. I should also, like, say allegedly before everything. Allegedly. Please don't sue us, okay? Thank you.
Insert
Um,
allegedly into everything we just said at the
allegedly,
appropriate points.
allegedly,
In fact,
allegedly.
on the edit, I'll do it.
Thank you. Allegedly, someone has said allegedly that she had an eating
Allegedly.
disorder problem and
Mhm.
has gone into a clinic to sort that out. Uh,
That I can wrap my head around.
mm,
She had a mental breakdown, eating disorder, needs some sort of treatment that is stigmatized in a way or very personal, and maybe
yeah,
she doesn't want that aired. I can understand that.
yeah,
Still doesn't make sense why he uses personal crest, though.
yeah. Why is he doing that? Hmm. Okay. Someone's commented saying the lack of news is the news. The official line is that she's recovering from a planned surgery for several months and is being given privacy and time with her family, but no royal has ever been given this kind of total blackout of privacy for so long. Remember, this is the same woman who was posing for the media in heels and makeup hours after giving birth.
Mhm.
Remember, this is the same family that refused to get the press to grant Harry's family privacy when he publicly begged them for help. Remember, they hounded his mother to death. Now, suddenly, they're capable of getting their future queen total anonymity for months. People are speculating that it must be much worse than anyone is letting on. In brackets, she's in a coma, she's left William or run away somewhere. But I'm about 50-50 that this is true. She's actually just needed surgery and then time for normal human privacy to keep from imploding. I wouldn't blame her. There's a chance that the palace might have learned something from Harry's situation and decided to keep William's family a little bit happier.
So I wanted to know more about like this crest thing because apparently this just blows my mind that it is a thing. But so they do they have their own personal crest. As you said, they have a joint one when they get married. It sounds like he hasn't used it since he's been married, but would use it for personal statements. And I think the one that you were referencing was about what's going on with Israel and Gaza. And while people think the fact that he used it could suggest they're splitting, perhaps they have a disagreement about that. And she's like,
Hmm.
don't put my name on that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, it could be something like pretty serious, like ovarian cancer
Yeah.
or something, and maybe she's had surgery and is now having, chemo and treatment and doesn't want anyone to fucking see her.
Yeah. Oh, this says he used his personal crest when he issued a statement about his grandmother 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it's not unheard of.
Hmm. But I think you're onto something with perhaps she's not well and doesn't look great. And she's been this icon of beauty and
Mm.
flawless motherhood, as that quote said. And like, I do know it's important for them to look good, even with the queen and her partner as they got up there in age. I think they really tried to avoid having them out when they looked unwell.
Yeah.
So, and if that's the case, I get why she wants to have some privacy there. And I guess even just saying she's not well, she's recovering here, like could result in tabloids and news and like people trying to like get at her and get that picture, because we all know that like even if she's beloved, they probably like news would love to get a picture of her bald from chemo or something like that,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, I bet they
So,
fucking love that, wouldn't they?
yeah. But it is interesting that comment to just like she gets complete anonymity and,
Mm.
basically no one protected Diana.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they have learned something. I've just seen a comment. I shouldn't laugh, but recently there have been various audacious rumours that got hashtag Prince of Pegging going on Twitter.
That again? I remember when that came out.
Do you?
I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that being a thing.
So
Do
this,
you remember?
no, I don't remember it, but it's the salacious rumour that William likes women going at him with a strap on.
Yes.
The
Oh my
rumour was
gosh.
accompanied with the pretty harsh comment that Kate was too prudish to do it herself, so let him go elsewhere as long as his dalliances didn't turn into emotional affairs.
Yep.
Then the Rose Hambury rumours resurfaced that the affair had restarted. I've never heard about this, and that was around Christmas, apparently. Hmm.
Yeah, at a recent media party, this is an article from the Rolling Stone. I was told the real reason for the affair was the royal's love of pegging, which his wife is far too old-fashioned to engage in. The wife doesn't mind the person who will peg him, and the fact that her husband prefers getting his sexual needs met elsewhere, as long as things don't become emotional. All right, well, kinks, man.
That's it. I just want to reiterate, I'm not laughing at people wanting to be pegged, peg away. It's just funny
It's the
that it's
hashtag.
associated with, the hashtag.
Yeah.
Prince of Pegging.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, and wasn't it a mutual friend that like Rose, her name it looks like Rose
Oh, is it?
Hanbury or something was
Mm.
she's like, I'll peg the prince. I volunteer as tribute.
I will take that duty.
Good for her.
Mm.
Bizarre. I don't know. What do you if you had to actually seriously kind of guess what's going on here, what would you say?
I wouldn't be surprised if she's in some sort of rehab facility.
Mhm.
Um, the eating disorder thing wouldn't surprise me because she has always been really skinny,
Mhm.
but in recent years, even more so.
Like in a way that doesn't actually look natural on her body, like she's a bobblehead on a
Yeah,
stick
just
figure
a
body.
little, bony and gaunt and
Yeah.
not a healthy weight potentially. Maybe something did happen and they released the surgery comment just to cover that up. Or maybe
Yeah.
she is seriously ill and she doesn't want to be pictured, or she's in no fit state to be pictured, and that's why
Yeah.
we haven't seen her. Either way, pretty horrible. And people should probably
Yeah.
stop gossiping about it like us.
Yeah.
But
Well, we're reporting on the news reporting.
yeah, we are doing the news' job because they're not reporting on it, and someone needs to. So.
It sounds like we need to whip out our to go mics and go do some investigative exploration at whatever hospital she would be
Yeah,
at.
I'm sure we'd get in, no problem.
I will put on my nurse's costume, and you can put on your doctor's costume, and
Yeah, so that's that, guys. If you've got any theories that we should be aware of, or you've seen her
yeah,
in the park picking up dog poo, anything like that, then please send your stories and quips into talkshittoUs@gmail.com, or forward the link on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials, so that
yeah,
we can report this to the wider world.
yeah. People want to know where Kate is. Hashtag where's Kate?
Okay, shall we end things on a thing?
Yeah, and send things on the things, doing stuff and things, jamming Kate.
Doing things. I just want to clarify, we weren't talking about you in that segment.
No, I'm Kate Middleton. I've been here the
You've
whole
not
time.
gone missing.
Right.
Okay, just to clarify.
Hashtag where's Kate the Brit?
Where is
Not Kate the Yank. There's
Queenie
only two
Kate?
of us. There we go.
There's only two Kates in the whole world. Okay, so this week I haven't got an Am I the Arsehole for you. I've got an off my chest post. And I just thought it was quite interesting, and I thought I could share, and we can get people's opinions and your opinion. How do you feel?
Okay. I'm into that, but first,
To have a jingle.
I was just going to say, what's our off my chest, the jingle? Can I get something off my chest?
Love it. That's it. I get something off my chest.
Yeah, just like that little Maccabees kind of flair. Maybe a little bit Vampire Weekend of don't give a fuck about Oxford comma. Drinking horchata off my chest. Oh,
Oh,
no.
nope.
Scratch that. Sorry. Go on.
Thank you. Okay, so it's titled, My husband admitted that he didn't expect anyone to want to fuck a 42-year-old woman when he asked for an open marriage.
Okay. Hope this ends in divorce.
It might. Okay, so initially I wrote a very long post with our whole backstory, but before posting, I deleted the entire thing. That was a pointless sentence we didn't need to know. She goes on to say, I'm assuming she said woman. It really didn't matter how we got here, but here we are. He asked for an open marriage after 20 years of happy marriage because he wasn't attracted to me anymore, and even though he still loved me. Maybe it was a midlife crisis, but he was panicking about not having been with other women his entire life. I left him and asked for a divorce. Quite understandably, really.
End of story.
Yeah, that's it. Bye.
Glad she got that off her chest.
Yeah. The separation devastated us mentally and financially. My children suffered the most and started hating me for leaving and breaking their happy home. When we got back together, I agreed to open the marriage, but I didn't want to know details. Everything was great, according to him, apparently. Around New Year's, when everyone starts thinking about their lives and planning changes, I realised I couldn't live like this anymore. I haven't had sex for 5 years. I downloaded Tinder, and that's a dry spell, isn't it? There's going to be some cobwebs up in there. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
That was fucking funny.
Oh, God.
Keeping that one in.
So I haven't had sex in 5 years. I downloaded Tinder, and at the end of the evening, I had matched with 40 guys and was talking with
Women
10.
clean up on Tinder. They sure do.
Okay, so I met 3, and one of them is someone I continued meeting. I still use Tinder, and I meet with people, and I still get matches every time I log in. Oh, this girl's a hottie. Now, my husband is frenetic about it and obsessed with what and who I match with. He thinks I'm doing it the wrong way. I don't know what he means by that. He was the one who wanted this, but I am the one doing it wrong. He demanded to know everything about the guys that I meet because he says that we need to be open in an open marriage. I agreed, but I still don't want to know about his women. He has full access to my phone and he knows everything about my dates. It didn't make him feel any better. I was so confused and asked him what more he wanted from me. I've done everything that he asked for, and he finally admitted that he never expected any man to want me, a 42-year-old woman, married mother of 3,
Oh,
when there
sorry.
are so
Yeah,
many
that's
young
repulsive.
single women out there.
God, what a dick.
So,
That tells me he's having trouble because he's actually
yeah.
the gross one.
Yeah. Yeah, someone's commented saying he's projecting hard. He wants younger women. Therefore, he thinks every man wants younger women. On top of that, he's probably not as successful with those younger women as he hoped, and he's jealous that you can easily get some while he can't.
I mean, that's basically what I thought and kind of said in a much better nutshell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
So he sounds like a twat.
an asshole.
He sounds like an asshole.
I'm just thinking about, like, I know she didn't elaborate, but he wanted an open marriage. She left. It was bad. She came back and was like, okay, for the sake of the kids, I guess.
Mm,
Fine. And he's like, but I don't want to hear about it. Like,
fair.
so do what you want. Don't tell me about it. And he's like, great. And then after a while, she's like, well, this is really lonely. I don't love this.
Mm,
So I guess I will play the game too.
yeah.
And then because she had no problems whatsoever, he all of a sudden was like, that's not an open marriage. We have to be honest with each other, blah, 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 blah. I don't care if you don't want to know, but I deserve to know because I guess this somehow threatens me as your
Mm,
husband because I truly meant by open marriage that I want to screw other people and you get to not do anything of the sort.
mm. What he expected is to go out and fuck whoever he wanted, but wanted his lovely wife to stay at home and look after the kids, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. He wanted to get, I think, like kind of the non sexual needs of his marriage from her and the sexual needs
Mm,
elsewhere. And she can do everything else and everything gets to stay the same for her. Fuck her needs.
yep.
What a twat.
Yeah, I would not give him access to my phone.
Mm-mm.
Fuck him. Like,
Maybe she's kind of like, if you want to make yourself feel bad, go ahead.
yeah.
Hurt your own feelings.
Look at the honeys that I'm sleeping with.
Yeah.
This is like, destined to fail. Do you know what I mean? I think he
Yeah.
wants his. I know a lot of people have like open relationships now and, polyamorous and all this stuff, but I just can't. I've not yet found, like, I listen to a lot of obviously podcasts and watch a lot of documentaries, and I've watched and listened to a lot of stories about open relationships and polyamory and stuff, and it never seems to work out. Like
Mm.
it does to begin with,
Yeah.
and then some sort of jealousy always comes into play, or someone realizes actually we just weren't happy in our relationship and
Yeah.
that's why we wanted to be with other people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've never once heard about it actually being successful, apart from maybe like swingers,
Yeah.
but then they're like both there at the same time, so maybe that's different. It's more of a kink thing rather than
Yeah.
yeah.
I think success is different for different people. Like, what does successful mean? Like, because I've heard of them, like long term open marriages that or relationships that change after, a decade, 5 years,
Mm,
whatever, because at some point someone catches feels,
yeah.
And I think one of the big tenets and I know it's not true for everyone who maybe has an open relationship, is like you like it's, physical, you can see someone, you can have a boyfriend, whatever, but like you like the romance and the like commitment and stuff is the relationship, the base relationship. And I think it's hard for people sometimes to separate physicality from feelings and stuff. And so I have heard where it happens that it's like I actually have feelings for this person and I would
Yeah.
like to, pursue a long-term something with them, and that's when it changes. And so I think the big thing is like setting the ground rules, and you guys have to agree to them and be on the same
Yeah.
page. And I think we talked about this when we had that listener write in, right? It's
Mhm.
about communication, and if things
Yeah.
start to change, being open about it,
Mhm.
because when people start to not communicate and still kind of pursue things, then that's when I think feelings get hurt. And for this, like he when he said he wanted an open marriage, it was more like I need to be able to go do whatever the fuck I want, fuck
Yeah.
whoever I want, and I need you to just continue to be my wife and act as if
Everything's fine.
nothing's wrong,
Mm.
but you don't get to have sex with me or anyone else. You just
Yeah.
get to be the celibate mother
Because
and
you're an
housemaker.
old woman.
No
Ugh,
one's gonna want you anyways. You're
yucky.
42, and that's really gross.
Ew. No one wants your old fanny.
Let's go sew it shut. It's full of spiders, anyways. Gemma said.
Ew.
Ugh, that's annoying though, because like I think that this guy, I actually wouldn't be surprised if it was less about him not being attracted to her and more about him feeling bad about himself
Yeah.
and thinking that like being attractive to other people and having other people want to touch his willy would make him feel better. I don't know. And so it's upsetting to him that maybe now his wife is not interested in having sex with him and also having sex with other people.
Yeah. Lucky, mate. You've shot yourself in the foot there. And
God,
also, like, younger women don't like older men, really, unless they're famous or rich.
I think there's
I
probably
mean,
plenty of
occasionally it
younger.
happens,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
typically, you got to be rich, mate.
Depends on the age difference, because like if I'm thinking a 21-year-old and a 48-year-old, like you're in a lot, like really different places in your life.
Yeah.
Really different places in your
Like,
life.
what do you have in common?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to talk about
You
over
go to bed
dinner?
at 9. She stays out until 2. You
She goes
can't.
on TikTok. You don't know what TikTok is.
You have a hangover after 2 glasses of wine. She does shots.
Exactly. It's not going to work, guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, on that note.
Glad I got that off my chest.
Yes.
Well, I think just to summarize, do better for animals.
Mhm.
Hope Kate's okay.
Yeah.
Men are babies. That's today's episode,
The end.
folks. Da 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 da.
Hey.
Well, write into us about your thoughts on polyamory, open relationships. If you think that we got it wrong, if there can be success there, what do you think needs? If you think that guy was fucked up or the woman was fucked up, what do you think happened to Kate? Is Kate at your house? And then
Have you
also
seen
talk
her?
about, dog ownership tips
Yeah. That'd be great.
for Gemma.
Actually, yeah. That'd be lovely.
TSYB Pod for the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, Vine,
Bebo.
Bevo, Neopets. Yeah, you can find us all there. And talk shit to us at gmail.com. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.